Okay, as you can see, I've already logged into Weebly. So I'm in Weebly, and I'm going to add a site here so that I can start afresh. And really, it doesn't matter what your theme is or whatever. You can just pick something. I'm going to pick personal. I'm going to do this our story, even though it's not really going to be an our story. I'm going to adjust everything, and it's creating my site now. I'm just going to X that out and do that later. So you can edit your image here and not worry about that. But then basically what you're going to want to do is the first thing you're going to do is you're going to need to create your pages. And so we're going to have our list over here. We're going to start out, and I'm going to edit this, and it is going to be a standard page, and I'm going to change the name of it to my home page. And it's been changed. Okay, then you can go back and you can do the RSVP. I'm going to change, and that's going to be my introduction. You're going to keep going back, and you're going to change. This one is going to be the task. And if you notice, it's changing these over here in this section as well. I'm going to go back, and then I'm going to change location, and that's going to be called process. We'll let that change. And we'll go back. And if we want to add pages, since there's not enough here for all of our pages, we just click on the add button, and we want a standard page. And we're going to name this one evaluation. We're done. And then we're going to add another page, and we're going to call it a standard page, and we're going to call that one our conclusion. And we're done. And then we can add another standard page, and we're going to call it resources. You could also call it teacher page if you would like, or you can do two separate ones if you prefer. It's totally up to you how that's done. Once you've gotten the bones of it together, you've got all of your pages that you need, then you can go back in and you can start editing your site. For instance, here, if I want to change this, I can edit this right here. Just click on it, and whatever Webquest it's going to be. Let's see here. I'm going to do okay. So there you go. My Webquest is going to be famous people of the 1920s and 1930s. Okay. And if we go over, it just kind of slides out of the way. And so we would like to go to our home page and work on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this image, and I'm going to change the image. And you basically just have to click around until you find what you're looking for, or you can upload things. And really, the good thing about Weebly is that it's very user-friendly. And you can just poke around and find what you're looking for. Or if you wanted to, you could click on the upload image down here. and you could search. I'm going to search for and so we can, you could buy that if you want to. You can add to your favorites if you want to. These are, of course, it says they're professional photos, so you have to be careful. You might want to find some. Here we go, free photos. That's where we want to go. Don't think we should show a flapper smoking in our school. Our picture for school project, so I have to find something else. I think I kind of like this. Excuse me, I'm kind of sick there. Of course, she's got a tattoo. That might not be the best in the world, but that's what we're going to do right now. We're just going to save that. So we're going to save it to all pages, and it's there. And we can go back and edit it anytime if we want to. So now, on our home page, what we need to do is, I'm going to start with a title. And then you can edit. And to change the size of the font, you can either make it bigger, increase the font, or decrease it. So I'm going to decrease mine. And that looks like it's about as small as it's going to get. And so maybe you need to go in and all this stuff is just really just playing around. There we go, much better there. Okay. Excuse me for all the snorting. I've got something crazy going on. And then you can add you some text down here. And obviously, we don't want it that size. You can just type in whatever information you want for your introduction. Today you will be taking on a newspaper So there you go. You're obviously going to want to put more information in here about what they'll be doing and that sort of thing. And then if you want to publish it, you'll click on the publish button up here, and then you can go back and you can look at the page and see what it looks like to see if you like it. If you don't, you can come back in and edit it, that kind of thing. So now we're going to switch to our introduction. Well, that was our introduction. Oh my geez. Okay, so if you did what I did and you just created your introduction on your home page, what you can do is you can go up and you can actually edit these things, okay? You can go back to your pages and introduction, we would like to, let's see here, we're going to, we can move this down to here. And then we can change this page to your introduction. And then go back and change this to your home page. You can add headers and such if you would like to. But really, this is one of those things where you just need to play around with it and figure out what is what so that you can create it to be whatever you want. If you remember when you looked at my page, whoops, I should have opened that in another window. Let me X that out. There's our introduction. I'm going to open up a new tab and go here. Actually, to my Weebly for my World War II leaders website, webpage. And of course, they're going to be, their role here is a research historian, and I link to information about that. You can add as little and as much detail to your Webquest as you would like. It's totally up to you. And see, it's already made that as my home page, so that's ready to go. And you keep working on this stuff, and it automatically saves it, so that if you make a mistake and you edit it, it will save it for you, and that way you don't have to publish it until you're ready for it to go. And if you notice, you can change your themes. You can change themes and fonts and backgrounds and all that kind of stuff. There's a way to show you how to create a store if you're wanting to do that instead of educational things. And then there are some settings up here that you really don't need to mess with unless you are real tech savvy and know what you're doing up there. But you don't have to fool with that. But you can go in and with all of these pages, you can build, and that's how you put the page together. So you might want to put a title up here, where you would click task, okay? And then you might want to put some text in here explaining about the task. '20s and 1930s, so that you can write some newspaper articles about them. You will research what they are famous for and use that information to create historical fiction newspaper about them. And then, of course, you would go on in and talk about each of the people they'll be researching and whether or not they will be working together or not, whether each person is responsible for something different. And, of course, that goes into the whole process here where you're explaining to them what all they're going to need to do, and you will need to create some evaluation forms, whether that is a rubric or a checklist or whatever else you come up with for your students. And then your conclusion is basically a wrap-up of where you're going to write down everything, the conclusion, what should they have accomplished, what do you want them to do next with the information, that sort of thing. And if you remember, on the resources page, the teacher page, in the one that I did with the World War II leaders, I had the standards that we were covering from 5th grade social studies. I had the resources where I got everything from for my Webquest and that sort of thing. It's just really up to you. If you want to add a student resources and then a teacher resources page, you can do that as well. But a lot of the student resources will be on the process page, where you give them the links to the different websites that you expect them to use. Evaluation would have maybe samples in there for them to look at to know what their project should look like and that sort of thing. Again, a lot of this is playing around and moving and putting things. You really can't mess anything up. It's real easy to delete something. Let's pretend I put something over here. I decided that I wanted to, I put some text over here. I'll put me some text here. I'll put something here. Okay. And then in a few minutes I decide, oh, I don't like that. You can either move it, this arrow over this box here lets you move it to another place on the page. If you decide that you want to move it to a different page, it'll let you move it to a different page. You can copy it to move it to another page. Also, if you don't like it, you can just delete it, and it's going to ask you the question, are you sure, before it allows you to delete it, so that you're not deleting something and then panicking going, oh no, I didn't mean to do that. So Weebly is very easy to use, I think, but it does take a little bit of time for you to go around and play with things and just try everything out. If you have any problems with how to do it, you're welcome to ask me. I'll be glad to come and sit down with you and work on some of this stuff after school if we need to, or if we ever have common planning for subjects, we can work on them then. We've always got our PLCs where we're meeting, so we can work on these, and I'll be glad to help you out any way possible. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I'm certain that your students will learn and have a great time doing these web quests. Thanks.